Hey man, hey everyone. I normally don't do podcasts anymore. It's been like very long, at least a year and a half that I have previously done my last podcast. But I came across something quite interesting lately because I started realizing that there's this one topic that I've always wanted to talk about is pretty much in regards to relationship between a guy and a girl. So I've throughout the time I've been asking the same question to everyone, and I have tried getting like a definite answer as to if it's true or false. I've asked both male and female, and the funniest thing is that majority of the times when I talk to someone on the phone, and I discuss this topic, a lot of them is actually quite similar answers that I'm getting. So, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you can actually see on the screen right now, I've asked on a poll on Instagram, I've asked that a guy and a girl cannot just be pure friends from the start without one or both person liking the other more at some point, unless you're asexual or a cabbage. But with all jokes aside, think about all your opposite genders, you know, who are your friends. Are they your friend now from the start, or did they at one point had a thing for you, or you had a thing for them before, which ended up reverting back to you guys just being friends? So my initial answer is obviously that this point is true. I think that whenever you and a girl get to meet, it is quite general. People meet people every day now, but I think it is more important the fact that is if you were to choose to invest your time and effort into a person, which in return becomes your significant other, or if not just a very close friends, some kind of emotion has to be presented. I don't believe in the point where a guy and a girl, provided that they're both straight. Okay, I'm not talking about like bisexuals or homosexuals at the moment because this is a really just a narrow topic that I just want to talk specifically for straight people. But what I think is that for my past, anyways, all the girls I've thought of even before this, I used to have a lot of really good friends, like female friends when I was younger, from probably high school till uni, and maybe a few years after uni. But then I realized eventually, obviously, for obvious reasons, I have had a girlfriend before, so I have distanced a little bit from these close girlfriends that I have because I realized that it wasn't worth the fight, having with my current girlfriend at the time. So that's one reason why I stopped talking to the girls. And second of all, the other reason for me to stop talking to these girls is just the fact that I think that I stopped investing too much feelings, if not any feelings, in any girls that I see nowadays. I think throughout this whole 3 years, I have made maybe one or two close female friends, but I never sort of had that emotional connection with the girls in the past when I was during high school and uni anymore. I'm not sure what the particular reason is, but hence why I came to this topic is whether or not that you have to really put in emotion for you to actually keep a opposite gender friend in your life. So, which leads to me to the point where I was saying that I tried thinking back in this past, say, 5 years that I've been out of uni. I have not made any close female friends. And one thing I realized is that every single girl that I have actually became my close friends in the past were the girls who have actually I had feelings for. Like I've had a crush for them, or it could be extreme as I want to like have sex with them. It's some sort of emotional attraction or physical attraction I have towards these girls that I had with them. I probably ended up at the end of the day, I was either being friend zoned or I realized it just won't work out between the two of us, or due to obvious reasons that these girls started dating other people, that I eventually gave up. But one thing I kept intact is with these girls is that instead of breaking the friendship off, I try to, take a step back, withhold my feelings for them and scavenge for whatever I want. Scavenge is not really a good word, but I would like to say that it is sort of the way, because I don't want to lose this friendship. Even though I can't be with this girl, I still want to keep the closeness I had with them. I still want to have a person to talk to. Maybe it's because I had an intimate emotion. I just repeated my word twice. I had this emotional connection that I think I invested in this girl. Hence why I feel like, even though they're just friends now, I still feel bonded with them, if you get what I mean. So that's when I asked this girl, and this girl responded that, even though emotions have to be invested in this whole situation, but in the same time, there are exceptional scenarios. Okay, for me, I don't really have much older friends, like 10 or 15, 20 years older than me, or 20 years younger, because that's just too pedophilic. But it's just the fact that this girl said that, in circumstances that people are allowed to actually, make friends with people who are slightly older than you, and you won't feel any sexual attraction or any sort of romantic attraction towards these people. In which I responded, I kind of agreed right away, because I've been basing everything on my past, not other people's past. But the fact that I realized that, yeah, age does come in play when it comes to emotional attachments. So, which is then why I came up with a second poll 12 hours later, if you guys look at the screen again, which is this one. So, let's add a condition. I realize, you can be super close friends, if not, at least general friends with people who are, say, your friend's girlfriend, or just any girls who has a boyfriend. You realize that, even though you guys can't be boyfriend girlfriends, there's some sort of connection you guys might partake. And of course, the reason is age again. This person being 10, 50, 20, 30 years older than you, someone you respect. Sure, you can be friends with them, you can say hi, sure, everything's great. But I don't think these will be the people, apart from your parents maybe, or your really old cousins, that you would sort of be close enough to share your secrets and your mindset. And you might learn from these people, but you definitely wouldn't share your deepest secret with them. Hence why my second part of the poll pretty much just says that I acknowledge the fact that there could be friends being made, like just casual normal friends. But in order to become close friends, that's when I think that emotions and interest has to be invested between opposite genders, to a point where I suggested that it can't be pure. And the result I got back again was quite 50-50. A lot of my friends had picked, male friends dominantly has picked true, and majority of the ones who pick false are females. One thing I want to point out, that is that females to me are a lot more emotional human beings, whereas whereas male, they are more physical. And why do I say that is because that a lot of times you do see females, actually no, not a lot of times, you don't see females cheating physically. Usually they will cheat emotionally. They are sort of like a more emotional attached people, whereas dudes, we're kind of dumb sometimes. We physically cheat, and a lot of us are actually just dumb. The fact that we have to satisfy ourselves physically instead of the emotional part. But hey, it's bad cheating regardless. So I'm not promoting cheating. So don't cheat, by the way. But at the same time, I think that in order to be close friends, definitely a strong bond has to be invested on each other. And again, using my own example as well, I have, even though obviously I don't have any older friends, then pretty much saying that I don't have any close older friends either. So that's when I told my friends as well, and my friends responded, ask these people who is answering true, false. Ask these people who think that this statement is false, this question, being that if, for example, if they're a girl, ask the girl if these guys who you called are friends, if one day you'd ask them hypothetically throughout your entire relationship of your friendship, not for relationship, your entire friendship between this person, would you, if you were to ask these people, if you were to just say, hey, would you fuck me throughout this entire friendship of ours, do you think, what are the chances of these guys responding saying, hey, no, we can't do that because we are friends and friends don't do that and I only see you as a friend? How many of you can truly say that, provided that they are interested in female and they are not asexual or whatsoever? Okay, so that's something I strongly believe now, as well, after having a talk with my friends, and I did ask this to a girl who told me that the statement was false, but once I've asked her this extended question, she was like, true. Most of these guys would probably say yes. There's that other one where they're trying to like avoid asking the guys because they are quote unquote scared of giving the wrong impression to the guy friends they have now. But then I'm like, well, if these guys are so close to you and they see you in such a friendly way, I don't think they would mind to begin with. But hey, that's just what my thoughts are. And what do you guys think? And this is a completely random podcast I have done, and I realize I have a lot of like mistakes I probably made throughout this whole entire podcast, but whatever. This is what I like about podcasts. You can choose to stop whenever you want and play and listen all the way to the end if you want. And if you do get to this point and you're still listening, thank you for listening. I don't know when I'll be doing another podcast. I just feel like doing one because it's been just so long. And thanks for listening. And for you guys who don't know me, I am Nelson. I do some wedding celebrant. If you guys are getting married or whatever, or wanting an MC for your wedding, I'm the person to look for. I do some side business. I have a kitchenware restaurant supply. I supply to all the restaurants with your takeaway packaging and stuff. Man, this is like a massive plug. And lastly, of course, I recently got into real estate. So if you were to look for a house to buy or whatever, I'm looking for a house to buy as well. So I'm still learning. If you have anything to ask me, go ahead, shoot me a message. You can find me on Instagram, your main MC, or /hungup, which is my YouTube channel and my main Instagram. And if you have anything else to say or any topics that you could recommend me to do hit me up as well. And if you do go onto my YouTube channel, I do a bit of K-pop reactions and all kinds of reactions, but mainly K-pop because I'm a massive K-pop fanboy. But anyways, thanks for listening to my podcast. I'll talk to you guys the next time. Cheers.